Okay guys, this is going to be a real short video. I wanted to take you through what I do when I'm looking for scholarly articles, and then what I do to take notes on them and to save them on my computer. Everybody has their own process for doing this sort of thing, and it's important that you find whatever works for you. We will do our best to provide you guidance and give you suggestions on things that you can do, like this video. But eventually you're going to find your own way, and whatever works for you. My way is a little unique. A lot of people can't really make sense of the way I do it, but it makes sense in my head, and whatever makes sense in your head is really all that matters at the end of the day, because this is your monster. So we'll start by going to the University of Tennessee library webpage, www.lib.utk.edu. And if you remember from the first instructional video on how to use the library, we'll go down to articles and databases. And we'll scroll down to education under subject. Eric via EBSCOhost. And you have to type in your NetID and password. Close a couple of these things here. Okay, and then we will choose our databases. And if you remember from the video, I like Academic Search Premier. Some people don't like that. It'll throw some weird things in there sometimes, but I like it because I have found some good stuff. So Eric, it's already clicked. Education source, and that'll do for now. Okay, so we're gonna go. We want full text. We want scholarly. These limiters we can change later. I want all of this. English. Publication type we want for Academic Search Premier. We'll just go with all. Sometimes the reason I go with all, sometimes things aren't labeled exactly newspaper, they won't be labeled exactly under book, but they might fall under those categories. So sometimes you might end up, and as you do this more and more, you'll learn these sorts of little tricks and techniques and what certain limiters do. But I don't like to exclude anything inadvertently. I don't want any of this. The option is academic journal. I definitely want an academic journal, and I want the full text for education source. So we'll scroll back up, and we will try my topic, teacher tenure, and see what we can find. Let's change this to publication date. Let's bring it all the way. I want stuff that's definitely post NCLB, so let's go with 2004. Let's see what we. Ideally, I would like things that are post 2009, but let's limit it to academic journals now. 253. So that'll bring our results down quite a bit. Legal consequences of mandating high-stakes decisions based on low-quality information. Teacher evaluation in the race to the top era. Here's something that, oh, that's in a different language. Well, here's something that might be valuable to me, as my research focuses on race to the top as well. It has to do with, you see some of the subjects and keywords down here: tenure, education and state, teacher effectiveness. So this might be valuable in when I'm talking about the background, the introduction and the background of my study. And teacher evaluation is definitely something that that's been incorporated into my literature review as well. So you can click PDF full text right here. Hopefully it's not in a different language. It shouldn't be. No. Yes, it is. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It's in a different language. Sorry about that. It's odd. I thought I clicked English for everything. Okay, well, we'll keep looking. Faculty promotion and tenure. This might be higher education. See down here, sometimes you have to look at these the subjects and the keywords and things. This is higher education, so you know they're talking about faculty promotion and tenure at the college level. So that's not what I'm interested in. This is college as well. Let's just try maybe Race to the Top. That's something that helped frame the background of my study. Oops, forgot the. This sounds interesting. It might not have anything to do. It might not have anything to do with my topic. I haven't read it yet, but it could. That's the thing. Sometimes don't immediately omit things just because it doesn't have the exact search term you're looking for. It might end up being, if it's interesting or it sounds like it might be related, save it. What I do is I go through and I save everything. I save them all. I put them all in a folder, and then I go through and I read them. And then obviously you'll have some that'll come out and they won't have anything to do with your topic at all, and you can toss it. Take a look. Introduction to Europe provides a short analysis of current problems facing education reform today. Expanding achievement gap. Race to the top. I'm going to go ahead and save this. On my Mac, it's different. There we go. So then, I can download this. It'll pop up down here on my Mac. Now I have set up a Dropbox folder. If you do not have a Dropbox, I highly suggest you set up one. It's a great way to back up all your information. You go to Dropbox.com and it's free. You can set up an account and you get a little blue box up here, and you can pull all of your files in. It's like a it's almost like an iCloud. It's sort of like a digital cloud for your files. It's a great way to back it up. And the free version, I have tons of stuff in there. I mean, I have videos and all sorts of things, and it's still not filled. So your Dropbox has to get pretty full before they ask you to pay for any. And even then, I don't think it's very expensive. So I've got it down here. I've got it downloaded to my computer. I want to move it to my Dropbox. Actually, if I click Other, it'll pull the whole thing up. I can go to my Dropbox. Then I have a folder here in my Dropbox, articles for dissertation. So I'll just move it right in there. Now you can see the little blue, it's saving the article. Now what I do, once I have, so I'll bring you guys to my Dropbox folder of all my articles. Oops. Articles for dissertation. I have them all saved according to title, essentially the title. I like the way it's set up on my Mac because I can identify them by the cover of by the way they look here, these little pictures. I know what each one of these articles are. For ones that are similar, I have them numbered. The M next to them means I've annotated them. So when I'm writing, I usually have this window pulled up along with my document, and I pull articles according to subject. I have them sort of categorized by subject here: principal perceptions, political climate, the NCTQ reports. When I'm looking for statistics, I look for these. When I want to throw in stuff about politics surrounding reform, I look through these, and so on and so forth. When I'm looking for principal perceptions or teacher perceptions that I'm talking about, I look through these. So, and what I did first, like I said, I searched through I found all my articles, I downloaded them, and I put them all in this folder. I didn't read a single one. And then little by little I went through, I read each one, and I annotated them as I went through. And what I mean by annotate is once you pull up, this one is one that I have not read yet or annotated. So, perfect. What I mean by annotate is once you pull your article right up, I read through them, and I can highlight right on here. And you just have to make sure that you save the changes you've made when you save it again to your Dropbox. And then, or I can even, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Where is the, I can even annotate it like that. And I can type in notes right into the document, and it'll save it. I think this is the latest version of Adobe Reader. Make sure you have Adobe Reader on your computer. That's going to be very useful to download. So then I'll just go through when I see something interesting, or I see something, or I know something that I've highlighted will fit into a section of my dissertation somewhere. I'll put it in an annotation, and I'll put insert into subheading, XYZ. And that's how I keep track of all my notes. I like to keep my notes right on the PDFs, the files themselves. Some people like to keep a matrix, and I'll also show you a matrix that I've made. Um, I personally find that when I'm writing, especially a large document, I like to just have that on my screen for the most part. I like to just look at that document. I like to just look at my narrative, and then I refer back to the articles as I go along. Some people like a matrix, which I will show you. So we will close out of here. It'll ask you to save. I don't want to save these changes, but make sure you save all of your annotations. You don't want to annotate your articles and then not save them. So I will show you my matrix, dissertation matrix. Some people like to set up a matrix like this for their articles. So you have the author, you have the full citation here. Now you can hyperlink the title to wherever it's saved on your computer. So I've hyperlinked these articles, and the way to do that is all you have to do is highlight whatever you want hyperlinked, right click, click hyperlink. It'll ask you for a document, and then you go find whatever document it is. Let's say it's this one, this article here, and then it's hyperlinked to that document on your computer. So you don't have to go find it on your computer. You can just click the hyperlink and the document will pop up. You don't have to go and find it anywhere on your computer. Some people like to do it that way. They also like to keep notes over here, maybe memorable quotes that have to do with your article. And as we scroll, this isn't the same one that I had before. Let me find the correct one. Summer. Matrix. So same thing here. This is a different matrix that I did for a different project, and you can see these little footnotes here. And when you scroll over the footnote, it'll take you down, or it'll pop up a note that I've written about this article. So what a lot of people like to do is they like to have their footnotes right there. And if you scroll down, you'll see each footnote. I like the article's author, and then notes that I took on that article, and a quote with a page number. If you take a quote right out of the article in your notes, always put the page number. Always push the page number, because it'll be a nightmare to go back and find the page numbers of quotes that you've taken. So while you're taking the quote, take the page number down. And I have them organized as such. You can organize them however you want. Organize them by subject. I organize them by author. It really doesn't matter. And then you can also, I've also footnoted other articles that coincide with this one. And this actually helps people structure their writing. So as they're going through typing their physical paper, they almost have it already structured, depending on how you organize it. And like I said, again, you can just go right here. If I click that, it'll pull the article right up on my computer, and I have it already annotated with highlights. And that's where those notes that you saw came from. So that's pretty much how I organize my journals, my documents, um, and my writing process. Like I said before, guys, writing is a process, and you have to find your own way of doing it. So there isn't one recipe to writing. There's many different ways to get the same result. So um, if you have any questions, if you'd like me to provide any further examples, please contact me. And happy writing.